Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing your daily Walking Dead video for today. In this one, we're going to go over a recent interview that Norman Reedus, who of course plays Daryl in The Walking Dead, had with Entertainment Weekly about the first half of Season 7 being disappointing and kind of sucking even for filming, and the second half being more kind of closer to what we're used to, the old Walking Dead being back again. And before we start, I want to show off a new Walking Dead figure I got. So this is one of the EagleMoss smaller minifigures, kind of like a statue figurine collection. And it's Shane, wicked cool. Huh? It comes with like a booklet, which is pretty cool. We got the man, John Bernthal. And I like the box, him there. Very cool. And he's got like the police hat here. He's got a flashlight there. And he's got the black shirt on with the shotgun. So that's wicked cool. So link will be in the description if you guys want to check these out from EagleMoss Toys. Really, really cool. Sweet. I also got a Negan one, which I'll show in a couple days in another video. Really cool, man. Oh, sweet. And spoiler warning, if you guys don't want to know, then, well, you don't want to know. But in this video, to start things off with a Q&A, we're going to go into some details from an Entertainment Weekly interview with Norman Reedus, where he talked a lot about filming the first half of Season 7 and how he didn't like it, and also the group being back together again, and it kind of feeling like what Walking Dead is for the second half of Season 7. So it's a very cool interview. Want to thank Andy G for sending it to me. As usual, he sends me all kinds of awesome topics, so thank you, Andy. And if you guys have any video topics to fill out until next weekend, of course, with the big premiere for the second half, then feel free to send them to me. Worst case scenario, I don't use it or I don't pick it or something of the sort. But send it to me if you guys have any ideas for videos or topics or questions for Q&As, and I'll add them in for you guys. So link will be in the description. OO.com, entertainmentweekly.com. Walking Dead, Norman Reedus, Daryl Dixon, Season 7. So The Walking Dead, Norman Reedus says he hated filming the first half of Season 7, is the title. Norman Reedus was not a happy camper during the filming of the first half of The Walking Dead's 7th season, but that's okay, because it turns out he wasn't supposed to be happy about it. We spoke to Reedus about some of the fan complaints about the first 8 episodes, and then he unloaded with some complaints of his own, even revealing that he took those complaints straight to showrunner Scott Gimple. I want to stop here. I kind of feel bad for Gimple, to be honest. I mean, this guy gets shit for everything. Like, whatever happens in the show, it goes on him, So I just, I think we should say, because I've been doing a lot of these lately where we go into interviews and stuff, and so-and-so says this, so-and-so says that. It all seems to come down to Gimple. So I kind of feel bad for the guy, to be honest. He's got a huge show on his shoulders, and he gets flack for everything. It seems being stuck in a cell naked by yourself is none too fun, and Reedus made sure his boss was aware of it, only to be told that it was necessary to serve the story, an assessment it seems Reedus ultimately, if begrudgingly, agreed with. Read on, as Reedus explained. So we read on, this kind of thing. Easy street, and sorry, couldn't resist, stuff like this. Okay, so obviously one of the big differences from the first half of the season to the second half is seeing you all reunited again. What's it like getting the gang back together since you guys were all splintered off? And then Norman Reedus said, oh God, it's great. This show always feels like the show to me when the group is working in unison. So it always feels like, The Walking Dead when the group is together and working together. And that first half was very hard for us to film. It was just rough. We were all separated, and we just kind of missed each other. We missed having the feeling that we had when we started this thing. I mean, and that's true too, to stop it there. This half feels really foreign as Walking Dead. Like, it feels quite different than anything we've seen before. The closest half, I'd say, to this might be like the first half of Season 3, where you have like Woodbury with the governor, and you have the prison. And it's got less characters, but you've got, part of the story being told there, part of the story being told here. And, they did that this time with Negan and even more communities. So there were so many, it's just really, really different feel for sure. So we just kind of missed each other. We missed having the feeling that we when we started this thing. I mean, I know the show evolves and all of that stuff, but man, the first half was rough. So I'm excited that we're all back together. I know everybody's excited. And I got that same feeling too as a viewer when we see that final sequence at the end of episode 8. I think it's part of what makes the mid-season finale a really, really solid episode, because heart's still beating, because when they come back together and they give each other a hug and that kind of stuff, it does feel very natural. It feels real. It doesn't really feel like you're seeing people acting. It feels like you're seeing people that genuinely, I'm sure during that sequence, they probably were very happy to see each other again and to feel like, yay, Walking Dead's back as well. Andrew Lincoln said the same thing, but he also said it really feels like the old show again in this back half. So that's very cool. Yes, it does, and that's what we like doing. That's what we miss doing, so it was nice to have that gang back together again for sure. Next one they go into with him is they say, there was obviously some chatter out there from viewers about the first half and some complaints about the tone. What do you make of that? Norman Reedus said, I mean, I was saying that about the first half. I think part of the chatter you're talking about came from me. But it's true. You can't make everybody happy about everything, but we try. And you have to keep the story moving forward at all times, or you just tell the same story over and over again. That's true, and one benefit of this first half and this season is, again, it's totally different from almost anything we've seen before. But I know new actors that came onto the show that were like, man, I miss the old group, and they were playing new roles this season. So I know that everybody felt it, but people think we're headed to the left and we go right. So a bit unpredictable there with kind of the style and the way they go in terms of direction. And the unpredictableness is good to keep people guessing, I think. You don't want it to be repetitive. That's true. So that's just how we keep people on their toes. But I'm happy that we're back on the that first track again, You all have a history of doing an episode here and there that shows us a whole new group or community, but we've never had so many of those back-to-back like this. And the only time you all have been splintered off like this into small groups for so long was the second half of season 4. Do you think the audience missed seeing the big group together? Yeah, I mean, I understand when characters go through certain things and mostly they're cut off from the rest of the group, but I didn't even see anybody. I was in a hole by myself naked. That does kind of suck. It just did not feel right to me. I don't think it would feel right to anybody. I'd talk to Gimple and I'd be like, man, this sucks. I hate this. And he'd be like, you're supposed to. And I'm like, oh, there you go. You know what I mean? He was right. It was supposed to suck, and it did suck for me anyway. But, it just makes coming back together that much more special. So very cool, and that's true. Again, the deeper the low, yin and yang, the higher the high, and you guys know how it is. So big ups. It's a good interview. Definitely check it out if you guys want to read it all through yourself. That's basically all of it. But just to give my thoughts on it. I agree with everything pretty much you said for the first half, that having the group split up and everything didn't help for sure. It did kind of make the half, a lot of people kind of complained a bit about the half and everything. But then in the second half, having them back together and it feeling more like the old, Walking Dead, to me, has me very excited for this. This half is going to be good. So we'll get into some more of your guys' questions, and you can write your comments below on what you thought about Norman Reedus' comments, that he hated the first half too, and that the second half should be good because it should be more from what we're familiar to for Walking Dead. A little bit closer to familiarity. Danny says, hey Trev, do you think The Walking Dead will do a single episode about Rick's brother Jeff and the issue called The Aliens? So to explain, this is from the Walking Dead comic book series. We don't know in the TV series of Rick if they'll ever do anything like this. I doubt it. I kind of doubt that they'll ever do it, but it would be cool to see like a webisode or some kind of like special where they did like an hour-long, one episode type deal where we got to see what happened with Rick's brother. You could read the comic book The Alien, which I have reviewed. The review's in the channel if you want to see it. Just click the channel, click the search glass, type in Alien, and you'll find it. It's a really good issue. Really, really cool kind of one-shot about what happened to Rick's brother in the zombie apocalypse. And I loved it. Watch my review on it if you haven't seen it. Will they ever adapt it? I think that would be really cool to do for like a one episode special or something. Would just be really neat to do that, or a webisode or something, but I don't think they ever will. Also because I don't think it was written by Kirkman, right? So Brian K. Vaughan, right? So as a result, if it's not his, I don't know. I think they should though. I think it's a good idea for a 1 hour block, as long as it doesn't take up one of our 16. Otherwise I might be pissed off. But even if it did, it might be okay. It might might be exciting to see because there's some different locations and stuff in that we've never seen before, which are cool. Big Daddy says, Trev, we need more Game of Thrones videos. So for you, Big Daddy, we wanted to include this one, and to everybody else too. Of course, this is a Walking Dead video, but just to say, because I know a lot of you guys also watch Game of Thrones as well, and if you didn't, I've kind of talked you into it over the last 5 or 6 years. Yeah, I mean, you're going to get more. It's just, for me, I find it really difficult to make Game of Thrones videos in the off-season. Maybe it's because I have more passion for Walking Dead, and that's why I can make more Walking Dead videos in the off-season. I know a lot of you guys have more passion for it, too. Game of Thrones is like an event show. When it's on, it just everything is under its shadow at that time. Like, when it hits its stride during the late spring, summer, I mean, everybody's talking about it. It's the big show. Nothing else matters when Game of Thrones is on. It's like an event. But after a season is done, 6 months later, it's kind of tricky to make videos on it. It's just not like Walking Dead. You've got the comic books. I did a review for the comic book just this week, and I don't know. I love the Walking Dead so much. It's a lot easier for me to make videos on it. Game of Thrones is difficult sometimes. I love it too, but I think it's just a style of show. So I'm actually glad that HBO didn't pick up Walking Dead, because then they might do like 10 episodes straight through, and then the whole rest of the year we get nothing, which I don't really want that. Even though it would be epic to see, and the budget would probably be even higher, and it'd be really cool to see during that time. I like to see Walking Dead, 16 weeks a year, and then Fear. It's awesome, man. Just give you something to look forward to every weekend or every little bit. Really looking forward to next weekend. Can't wait. Justin Baker says, Trev, would you ever get a tattoo of The Walking Dead? So probably not. It might be one of the things I would get. I don't have any tattoos at all, but some of the tattoos, like I was thinking about getting when I was younger and stuff, and a little bit more kind of crazy. I wanted to get at one time like a bat symbol on my chest. I think that'd be really cool, to accentuate the chest and stuff. Or maybe like a tribal, around the bicep or something like that, or the back, something like that. But for Walking Dead, what would it be? I don't know, maybe like a TWD or something, or a Lucille bat or something. But the thing is we don't know, how long Negan's going to be big for and that kind of stuff. And in 30 or 40 years, it might be like, whatever. But it'd be cool to get it. I know some of you have sent me your pictures of your Walking Dead tattoos, and that's wicked cool, like Lucille's and stuff. That's awesome. So yeah, we'll make the last one because this is a really good one. It's from IMJ. He says, hey, Trev, I've got a question for a Q&A. Recently, you've touched on topics that the length of the episodes so far in Season 7 has been extended, and we all kind of assume it's because you said it's has to consider the amount of time they shoot. However, I have another theory. Recently, according to online articles, our lead actors have received a significant bump in salary, so they're getting paid more, he's saying. So from previous $100,000 US per episode for Andrew Lincoln, reports now say he's up to around $500,000, so $500,000. I've heard this a few times. I don't know where the numbers are from. I don't know if they're true. It could be totally wrong. I don't know. This is what he's saying. Same goes for Norman Reedus, as well as the rest of the main cast. Although not as high in absolute terms, their respective increases are still high in relative terms. Could this be a reason for the extended episodes, i.e. to increase advertisement income? That's an interesting idea. I never really thought about that. It would certainly make sense from that point of view. So maybe you tack on a little bit more, you keep those viewers a little bit longer, you get some more ads in for Walking Dead. That's a good theory. I like your theory, to kind of boost it a little bit, get a few more ad plays in there at the high cost of where, advertisers are going to want to advertise. Do you want to advertise on Walking Dead or Talking Dead? Tough choice, right? So I'm sure the price is probably way higher for Walking Dead than it is for Talking Dead, or like right after it. So maybe you're right. Maybe that's true. But also you could say the bottle episodes could be as an effect of their increase if they got one. I don't know. It's really hard to say. But, that's good on them, though. If they did get a raise to, $500,000, per episode or something like that, good on them, man. I'm happy for them. That's boatloads of cash. I mean, they could do one episode, and that's like, more than a lot of, high-paid professions are going to get for a year to get $100K US, or 500, $500,000. So that means they could do like, half the episodes. They do 8 episodes or something, and they're, making millions every year. So that's pretty sweet. So good for them. Good on them. And, but they're partially responsible for the success of the show, right? So if they got a big bump, it's because, the show is probably doing ridiculous numbers. Of course, they're going to get thrown a bone here and there. And of course, to keep them, too, because they're high profile now. You know, you got John Bernthal. He's like in this movie, that movie. He's in The Wolf of Wall Street, which is one of like the best movies in the last 5 or 10 years. He's the freaking Punisher now. So if they leave, they're going to be able to make some coin. You know, movie money is usually even higher. So I'm glad to hear they're making what I would consider to be movie money, because they could do quite a few episodes. But you might be right. If that is true, that could be why they're bottling things so that they don't have to pay certain people because they're not in the episodes. And, that does make some sense. So who knows? You might be right. And also with the keeping the episodes a little bit longer and not cutting as much, maximizing them as much as possible. Hey, you know what? I think it's a win-win for everybody. As a viewer, more Walking Dead, like I said, the better. For them involved, that's great. If they're making a killing, if they're killing it, good for them. And it's great stuff. So if that is true, that's awesome, and I'm happy to hear that for them. That'll be it for today's video, guys. If you liked it, like it, thumb that shit up. You can also share, you can favorite, and if you're new and you want to subscribe, bottom left to subscribe, click the bell to turn on notifications. That's it for this video. See you guys again soon for another. It's Trev, same peace. 1 week, guys. We're almost there. 1 week left.